Hi guys, it's Friday, April 21st. What you need is your review category, reporting category 1 review from yesterday and something to write with. Okay, today we're doing pages 5, 6, 7, and 8 for your review. So page 5 at the top is talking about chemical formulas. What you're going to do is go through this section. The coefficient tells you how many blank there are. The subscript tells you how many blank there are. So remember the difference between a coefficient and a subscript. Think of a submarine or a subway where that goes. And then the coefficient is going to be the other number. Then you're going to fill in this box. So you're going to check one box in these two columns. So if it's a chemical symbol, you're going to check this box. If it's a chemical formula, you're going to check this one. And these two boxes, the light gray, you're going to check this box if this thing is an element. You're going to check this box if this thing is a compound. And then you're going to fill out these three boxes for each of these substances listed. So you're going to tell me how many elements, how many atoms, and how many total molecules there are in this substance. Use this information to help you. The bottom section says how many atoms of each element are in each formula. So you've got to count from the substance listed here how many hydrogens and oxygens. It'll just be a number. And this gives you glucose. You're going to see glucose on star. So we need to be familiar with that formula. And it's going to ask you how many atoms of oxygen are present. The bottom of the page is talking about chemical reactions. That's TEAC 8.5e. Make sure you're checking off your TEACs on your TEAC page. List 4 signs that a chemical reaction has occurred. Think of the country girls. Add one more. There should be 5. Add one more. Think of the country girls. And then state whether each of these changes is physical or chemical. You're going to write a P or you're going to write a C there. Okay, the next page, it says, while conducting many different labs over the school year, a student recorded observations in her science journal. Circle all of the following observations that would be considered evidence of a chemical reaction taking place. So in A through H, you're going to circle all of the observations that you would see. Think of the country girls. The next section is on balancing equations. It's 8.5F. This one's going to trick a bunch of people, so slow down, take your time on this one. Label the following parts of the chemical equation below. These are your words that you're going to use, and you're going to label the parts over here. Then it's talking about the law of conservation of mass. Super, super, super important. Make sure you fill in the blanks carefully here. And then you've got 2 multiple choice questions. Which of the following is balanced here? And which of the following is balanced here? So this is a question. And this is a question. Use the room over here off to the side if you need to double check that your work is balanced. Okay, page 7 at the top is talking about energy flow through ecosystems. This is usually going to be food webs, food chains, or energy pyramids. So remember, usually the producers are going to be at the bottom, and then the consumers are going to go up from there. You could have an example where a food web is upside down and the producers are at the top and the arrows are pointing down, showing energy flow. So be careful with that. Double check, look at your food web or your food chain first. This is an energy pyramid. The producers are going to be at the bottom. Energy is going to go up the top. Those are called trophic levels. So energy is going to go up to the top of the energy pyramid as different organisms get eaten and the energy moves up the pyramid. The bottom part is talking about organic compounds. So organic compounds have to contain a specific element. They have to contain carbon, and the rest could be any of these. So it gives you a hint what the elements are. Use your periodic table. In this chart, you're going to check one. If this substance, this is the formula for this substance, is organic, you're going to check here. If it's inorganic, you're going to check here. So each of these substances should have one check either here or one check here. Again, think about your definition of an organic compound. If it's got carbon in it, then it's organic. Be very careful, especially on the bottom one. Okay, the last page is on physical and chemical changes. It starts out talking about the digestive system. This is from 7th grade. So what you're going to do, you're going to place check marks in the boxes to tell me if it's a physical change or a chemical change. So this structure is going to have either a check mark here or here, depending on if it's one or both. Some of these could have one in both columns. So think about the difference between a physical change and a chemical change. You're talking about the digestive system, and that'll help you fill out that chart. And then the last section is on density. You've got a formula chart in your notebook. You also have one attached to your test that you took on Tuesday and Wednesday on your formula sheet. So make sure that you've got the right formula for density and you know how to manipulate that formula. This is going to be practice using a graduated cylinder and a triple beam balance. So again, on a triple beam balance, make sure that you read the beams correctly. Start with the biggest and then work your way down. Then for a graduated cylinder, you're going to have to use the displacement method. So it's like when you go sit in a bathtub full of water, and the water level goes up when you sit down, your body is pushing all the water out of the way. The same thing happens with the rock or the object that they put into the graduated cylinder. The water level is going to rise. If you subtract the two before and after the object's put in, that gives you the volume of just the object that you put in. A triple beam balance is just going to measure mass. Make sure your units, double check your units for both of these tools. Then the bottom section, you've got 2 sample questions on density. Make sure you use your formula correctly, and those are multiple choice questions. Again, show your work if you need to. Double check how you got your answer. This paper, the last 4 pages, you should have plenty of time to finish before the end of class today. Again, these are individual assignments. Use your time wisely. You can write in whatever color you choose. Use your textbook. Use your notebook for help. But you should remember most of these, I think. Your formula chart should be either in your notebook or you can use the one from your test that you took on Tuesday and Wednesday. For the ones that you have to calculate, you're not going to have a calculator on STAR. I'd like for you to get practice calculating, multiplying, dividing, using these formulas without using a calculator. So practice using no calculator first. They're not going to give you problems that are super impossible to do on STAR. That's just not fair. They understand that you've only got 4 hours to take the test. So be mindful of your time. But again, just get some more practice in doing division or multiplication. So again, these 4 pages will finish out the review category number 1. So whenever you finish, keep this in your binder and you'll have it ready to go for next week. Bye guys, have a great weekend.